Hello, today we're going to go over the new Teams option inside of SIGNL4. With the newest release, we've added the ability to create teams inside the SIGNL4 web portal. So here you'll see we have the SIGNL4 web portal loaded, and if we go ahead and click on the Teams option on the left, you'll notice that we now have an option to create new team. So we have an option here for the plus sign, which is to add a new team, and then you have a list of all your current teams. Right now we only have one, so we're going to go ahead and add a new team here. And we're going to call this one Jedi Masters. We'll save that, and we'll see the second team now show up in our list here. So now we'll see both teams, and both teams have their very own secret, so you can send alerts to individual teams instead of sending them to everybody. This way you can send your IT alerts directly to your IT team, and your database alerts directly to your database team, and support alerts directly to your support team, or any other teams that you have in the system. This is another way to make sure that the correct alerts are going to the correct group of people at the correct time. So now that we see both teams, we'll see that Superheroes has 4 members and Jedi Masters has none. So if I click on the first team, the Superheroes, it expands it down and it gives me the ability to edit and or delete the team. I can't delete it right now because it still has members in that team. You have to move or delete the members of the team before you can delete the team itself. Inside of the drop-down, you'll see the team name, the webhook, the email for the team, and then the number of members. You don't see a list of the members, but you see a number of them. On the left-hand side, we'll have a drop-down here where it says Under Teams, Superheroes, and that is going to list both of my team options there. So here I can click on Jedi Masters. Now these extra options underneath refer to that selected team. So if I click on Members here, we're not going to see any members because the Jedi Masters team has no members currently. However, if I go back to the superhero team, we'll see all 4 members that are part of the superhero team. So let's say we need to move somebody from one team to another team. You can do that under the user's profile, and we're going to go ahead and move myself, so I'll click on the drop down for my user, and you'll now notice that in addition to the role, I have a team drop down, and if I click on that, I can move myself to the Jedi Masters team. So if I click on the save, you'll now see that the user Robert is part of the Jedi Masters team. And if I go back under Teams and I select the Members option, we'll now see that user. And if I go back to the Superheroes team, we'll no longer see Robert in that dropdown. Now what this means is if a new alert comes through to the superhero team, my user will no longer see that alert because I'm no longer a part of that team. So now, when we go into both the web portal and the mobile app, we will see only alerts that pertain to the team that we're a part of unless you are an administrator. Administrators see all signals and events for every team, but schedulers, users, and the new right called Team Administrator, they only see the rights for their selected team. So there have been lots of events come through, and if I go over to another user who's still in the superheroes, he can see all the events that came in, including the ones today. However, in the drop-down menu here, we've added a new drop-down for team, and he'll have the option for all teams, the new team Jedi Masters, and the old team superheroes. So if he chooses the superheroes option, he's going to see all the alerts that came through for that superheroes team, and if we choose the Jedi Masters, we're going to see all the alerts for the Jedi Masters, which is currently 0. So if I go back to my user is defaults to the team that he's in because he's not a full-on administrator, he's a team administrator now. So I can't click that drop-down box. That drop-down box is locked for anybody that's not a global admin. So because there's no events in there, for my team, I don't see any. So let's go ahead and send an event in for my team. So here we see on both the mobile app and the web portal where I see a new alert has come in. So let's go ahead and click on the alert in the mobile app, and I see the new alert, so I click on that, and I see we have a database problem. So I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge this alert, and then add an annotation to it. Now this annotation, just like the alert, will only show up for other members of my team. People outside of my team do not see that alert unless they have the global admin rights. So here when I'm logged in as a team admin, you'll notice that I no longer have the teams option or the team dropdown because I'm only going to see members of my team. I don't see every member that's part of every team because I don't have rights to those teams. In addition, when I go in and set my category options and my duty scheduler, I'm only setting them for my current team, and I'm not setting them for all teams everywhere. However, as a global admin like the Patrick user here, he can choose his team and then choose the categories and or the shift and duty schedule for that team, and then he can edit the schedule for all teams because he has access to all of the teams. You'll see here under my categories that I have extra categories enabled for my superheroes teams, and then if I go back and choose this under Jedi Masters, those extra categories do not show because they were created for the old team and have not been put into the new team. In addition to the shift and duty scheduling and the categories, the apps are also team specific. So if you want to create a Microsoft Team connector or a Slack connector, you can create one of these connectors for each team so that each team is receiving separate connections from different, let's say, different Teams channels or different Slack channels to get the correct data into each individual team using their team secret. So our new teams does not affect the billing of your current teams, and you still go through the billing cycle just like normal. If you've already enabled enterprise licensing to enable 2 different subscriptions for your organization, then you just click on the enterprise licensing and you'll still see both subscriptions here. And you'll still have the option to edit each individual subscriptions to modify the number of users and change the subscription level depending on which subscription best fits your needs. Each subscription for your organization is still a separate entity and does not share teams. So you would still have to create teams under both subscriptions if you needed teams under both options. And each subscription only allows for 1 subscription level. So you can't have one team on Optimize and another team on the free version under the same subscription. Thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye.